Hello, I am author Natasha Frazier, introducing my latest book, The Missing Link, which is book 3 in my Langston sister series, which is my latest romantic suspense series. And the book opens with Layla having a dream. And if you are familiar with Layla from the previous stories, she has had dreams, premonitions that kind of foretell things that are going to happen. So that's where we're going to pick up in the book at the beginning of chapter 1. Trapped inside of a dark, tight, claustrophobic space, Layla Langston couldn't breathe. She couldn't be sure how long she'd been stuffed inside of the box, but her oxygen level was on its last leg. Her breathing grew heavier, and the space grew warmer and stuffier. A mix of pine wood, her cocoa-scented body cream, and sweat permeated the tiny area. She fanned her fingers to feel around the tight space, but she couldn't move her hand away from her side. Layla attempted a squeal, but the sound from her lips was muffled. She hardly recognized her own voice. Lord, what is happening to me? A lone tear rolled down her cheek, or at least she expected to feel the dampness on her face. Instead, the tears soaked what she was certain to be some sort of mummy wrappings. Her breathing became labored and more ragged. Every struggled rise of her chest collided with the pine wood of the box. Someone may as well have had their fingers wrapped around her throat. Don't panic and lose the rest of your oxygen. You're smart. You can figure your way out of this. Layla squeezed her eyes tight. This had to be a dream. If she squeezed tight and long enough and counted down from 10, maybe she'd wake up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. She opened her eyes, pushed out a stream of air, and canvassed her surroundings. Fresh, clean air. White curtains and a matching duvet cover, bedroom furniture fit for royalty, and a room filled with blessed light comforted her. She was still in Nassau for her sister Ava's wedding. He had only been a dream, the 5th one this week. Each time she had the dream, the visions became more daunting, more frightening, more real. There had to be something she was missing, right? Hadn't she always warned her sisters to pay attention to the dreams she had? Only she couldn't be certain how to take heed to her own messages because she didn't know what the dreams, nightmares, meant. Layla tossed the luxury covers to the side, climbed out of bed, and donned her matching silk bridesmaid robe. She sauntered down the open wood staircase into the kitchen of their Langston beach home to brew a carafe of coffee, but found her sisters, Crystal and Ava, already gathered around the breakfast table laughing and chatting. The rays of sunlight bounced off the cool blue pool water and filtered through the kitchen window, shining on the two of them as if it was a congratulatory message from God himself. Layla leaned in and hugged Crystal first, her protruding belly making it impossible for her to sit close to the table. Morning. Morning to you too. Thought we'd have to knock the door down to wake you up. You're wasting precious time. We have to enjoy this beautiful island. Layla smiled and shrugged. Yeah, I know. Needed the rest, I guess. This morning would be a rare occasion where she wouldn't mention her dreams to either of her sisters. Today should be festive and light, not stomach-wrenching and gloomy based on what her sleeping thoughts revealed. Layla turned to Ava. How are you feeling? Cold feet yet? Crystal laughed. You know her feet have been on fire since the moment she met Zach. Layla snorted. Right, I must have forgotten who I'm talking about. A better question would be, can you wait another few hours? Hush, both of you. I've waited all this time. A few more hours couldn't hurt. It's almost surreal, though. I just hope I'm ready to be his wife. Crystal cocked her head to the side. You're ready, all right. There are at least 2 simple things to remember, and you'll be all good. Layla poured her coffee and took her seat at the table, scooting close as if Crystal were about to reveal some big secret. What's that? She asked as if she was the one about to get married and in need of advice. Crystal smirked and hiked an eyebrow. Respect him and love him. I respect and love him already. Crystal rubbed her belly. I mean, love him regularly as possible. Ava shimmied her shoulders. Not a problem. Can't wait to do that anyway. Layla and Crystal laughed. Layla shrugged one shoulder and sipped her coffee. I guess I'll just tuck that info away in the back of my mind for when I need it. Even if I forget, I'm sure you two will remind me. By that time, Crystal will probably have a whole basketball team. Slow your roll, sis. Maybe one more, that's it. This kid is wearing me out already. Layla reached over and rubbed Crystal's belly. Hang in there, Marcel Jr. Don't do my sister too bad. Listen to your aunt because she'll be doing plenty of babysitting. You can count on it, but while we have this moment, let's toast to Ava and Zach. Layla raised her mug in the air. Ava, I'm proud of the woman you've become, and I wish you and Zach nothing but peace, love, and happiness. You both deserve it. I've watched the way he looks at you, treats you, and adores you. I think I speak for the family when I say my heart is at ease, knowing that you will have him as your husband. To 60 plus years of bliss. Ava laughed. Thanks, but did you have to add the number of years? Layla shrugged. Hey, I said plus. Crystal laughed and cleared her throat. She raised her mug of hot tea. Okay, my turn. If you ask me, Zach wanted you the moment he carried you into the hospital. But what I love most is you love him equally as much as he loves you. Hold on to each other. Keep God as the cornerstone of your marriage, and you two will be able to handle whatever life brings your way. Cheers. Cheers, both Ava and Layla said with their mugs lifted in the air. As happy as Layla was for Crystal's and Ava's new journeys, uncertainty mixed with excitement filled her about her own. Up until this second, work at Langston Brands and family defined her life. But the time now came for her to prioritize her own happiness. With Crystal, a soon-to-be mother, and Ava, a new wife, Layla knew her moment had come to seek her own adventure. She loved her family and the business they'd built, but she didn't want to marry Langston Brands, and she didn't have plans to be the third wheel in either of their relationships. She sipped her hot coffee that seemed to pool in the bottom of her belly with each sip. Images of being stuffed in the pinewood box filled her thoughts. Okay, Chris won't mention it, but I will. Forget about me and Zach for a moment. What's going on with you, Lay? Are you seriously going to leave the business? And are we really going to sit here and act like you leaving won't affect us? Layla should have known her sisters wouldn't keep quiet about her resignation letter. While they assured her they supported her decision, this confrontation couldn't be avoided. Ava, like I said 2 weeks ago, I have to do this for me. You both are getting everything you wanted. Do I have to be the exception? Ava seemed to relax in her seat and consider Layla's side, while Crystal, on the other hand, wasn't quite convinced. Is this about Ava getting married? Layla massaged her temple. No, Chris. It's about me pursuing something for myself for a change. I need you both to support me like you said you would. Ava reached across the table and covered Layla's hand with hers. We do support you. We just want you to be sure this is the right move and you're not making a hasty decision. I've wanted a career in journalism for a long time, and now that I have the opportunity, I have to take it. I'm not leaving our family, just changing careers. Crystal's features softened, and understanding filled her eyes. We know you're not leaving us, it just feels like you are. I think that baby has you overly emotional. Everything will be fine. Plus, if it doesn't work out, I'm coming back for my job. Crystal laughed. In that case, I'll hold it for you until I return from maternity leave. Fair enough. Could the career change be what her dream referred to? Before today, Layla hadn't assessed her feelings about the new lives her sisters were about to embark on, nor her interview for the journalist position with the Houston Exposure. Perhaps her subconscious whispered her truth. At 40 years old, she felt stuck. And she'd do whatever she had to do to get unstuck, even if it meant stepping away for a while. Away from Langston Brands. Away from her family. Away from everything she'd ever known so she could find and embrace the journey that was hers to take. That is the beginning of The Missing Link, book 3 in the Langston Sister series. Grab a copy from our website, autographed copy from our website, natashafrazier.com. It's available also on Amazon, online, anywhere books are sold, and available on ebook via Kindle. So treat yourself this Christmas with a new book from Natasha Frazier.